Hello everyone, welcome to Matrix YouTube channel. Today we are here for the discussion of solutions of Matrix Olympiad paper which was held on 29th of October in second shift. We will start from class 9th and the subject is physics. Let us start our discussion. So, question number first. In first question, it is said a car starts from rest, that means its initial velocity will be 0, accelerates uniformly to speed 180 km per hour, that means its final velocity is given 180 km per hour, converting it into meter per second. I am multiplying it by 5 by 18, so it will becomes 50 meter per second. Okay. In 10 seconds, time is also given here, 10 seconds. The distance covered by the car in this time interval. So we have to calculate the distance traveled. So using equation of motion, S is equals to ut plus half at square. We know that value of u is 0. So S is equals to become half at square. We know that acceleration is equals to change in velocity with respect to time. Okay. So change in velocity is given by v minus u divided by t multiplied by t square. From here we can see it 1 upon 2 multiplied by v is 50 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 10 divided by 10. So from here this 10 is cancelled by this 10 and it becomes 500 divided by 2 which equals to 250 meter. So our correct answer is option B. Next question. A body is thrown vertically upward if the air resistance is negligible. If the air resistance is negligible, then the time during which body rises. The time during which body rises is called time of ascent, and if there is no air friction or air resistance, then time of ascent is equals to time of descent. That means it is equal to the time of fall. So the correct answer is option A. Okay. Next question, question number 3. A boy is standing at the top of tower of height is given 5 meter, drops a stone, assuming g is equals to 10 meter per second square. The velocity with which it hit the ground, as we know that when a body is doing free fall, then the velocity by which it will hit is calculated by v is equals to root 2gh. Okay, putting the values, root 2, value of g is 10 and the height is 5. Okay, on solving this we will get the answer root 5 to the 10, 10 into 10, that means 100, it becomes equal to 10 meter per second. So correct answer is option A. Next question, question number 4. In question number 4 it is said a body of mass 3.153 kg is moving along the x-axis with the speed of 5. The magnitude of its momentum, very simple question. Momentum is given by mass into velocity. Whenever we multiply these factors, 3.513 multiplied by velocity is 5. So the correct answer will be, on solving this, I am directly putting the answer, that will be option B, 17.565 kg meter per second. Okay. Next question, question number 5. Question number 5. A man fires a bullet of mass 200 gram at a speed of 5 meter per second. The gun is 1 kg of mass. Okay. By what velocity the gun rebounds backward? Whenever we fire a bullet from gun, it recoils in backward direction. And from this we can find the value of recoiling velocity by using conservation of momentum. So let's say mass of gun is mg, mass of bullet is mb. Okay. Velocity of gun is vg and velocity of bullet is vb. So mass of bullet, okay, mass of bullet is given 200 grams, so it will be in kg, 200 divided by 1000 kg. Mass of gun is 1 kg. Okay, velocity of gun, recoiling velocity of gun we have to find out, and velocity of bullet is given 5. So initial momentum till any bullet is fired is 0. and final momentum we can calculate. Final momentum will be mb vb plus, this is momentum of bullet, and mg vg, this is momentum of gun. From here we can conclude vg is equals to minus mb vb divided by mg. Okay, now putting the values, vg is equals to minus mass of bullet, that is 200 divided by 1000, multiplied by velocity of bullet, that is given 5 meter per second, and it is divided by mass of gun. Okay, that is 1. So from here we can see it becomes equal to minus 1 meter per second. Negative sign indicates that the direction of recoiling velocity of gun is just opposite to the direction of velocity of bullet. So our correct answer is option A, 1 meter per second. Next question, number 6. A ball of 25 gram moving with velocity of 2 meter per second is stopped within 5 centimeter. The average resistance offered to. So what is average resistance? That is resistive force, which is equals to mass into acceleration. So first of all, we know the mass is 25 gram. Anyhow, if we are able to calculate acceleration, then it will be easy to find resistive force. Okay, so let us calculate the value of acceleration. Because time is not given here, velocity and distance is given. So I am using third equation of motion. V square is equals to U square plus 2AS. Okay. In this case, final velocity, because it will stop, it will become 0. Initial velocity is 2 square plus 2A, and the distance is given 5 centimeter. So I am converting it into meters, 10 to the power minus 2. From here we can see A is equals to minus 2 square divided by 2 into 5 into 10 to the power minus 2. Or we can say A is equals to minus 4 divided by 2 multiplied by 5, और इसको ऊपर ले जाते हैं तो 10 to the power 2 हो जाएगा. That means it becomes 100. Okay. So from here, solving this, it becomes acceleration is 40 meter per second square. Okay. So putting the value of acceleration, F is equals to mass is 25 gram, converting it into kg, dividing by 1000, multiplied by 40. Okay. So from here we can see this is 40, and on solving this, resistive force will become 1 Newton. If there is a negative sign, which indicates that the direction of this resistive force is opposite to the direction of motion, okay, of ball. So correct answer is option D, 1 Newton. Next question, number 7. We have to match the column 1 with column 2. So let us check. For momentum, out of these three, let us check. For momentum, we can say explosion of bomb is based on conservation of momentum. So I will write 3. Impulse. We know that China wares and crockeries are wrapped in straw paper before packaging, because it will increase the time of contact, due to which impact of force reduces. So for impulse, I can write 1. Inertia. We know that an athlete runs for a certain distance before taking a long jump. This is due to inertia. So for this, I will write 2. So correct code is 312. 312, that means option C is our correct answer. Next question, number 8. We have to check which statement is true and which is false. The displacement of a body may be 0 when distance traveled by it is not 0. Yes, for a round trip, let's say any object is moving from point A to B, then return back to point B to A. In this case, displacement is 0, but distance traveled is not 0. So this is a true statement. A body can have acceleration even if its velocity is 0 at the instant of time. This is also a true statement. Let us assume if an object is thrown vertically upward, when it reaches to a maximum height, its velocity becomes 0 for that instant of time, but acceleration is not 0 because direction of motion is reversing. So this is also a true statement. The displacement is longer distance between initial and final position. This is a false statement. Displacement is the shortest distance between initial and final position. So correct answer is true, true and false. So that is option B is our correct answer. Question number 9. A case is given here regarding velocity or motion of a body. Here it is said a 100-meter long train moving with uniform velocity of 45 km per hour. The time taken by train to cross the bridge of length 1 km. Okay, so let us check total distance. The distance of train, the length of train is 100. Okay, and the length of bridge is 1 km. 1 km, that means 1000 meters. So total distance which train will travel will be 1100 meter. Okay, velocity is given, v is equals to 45 km per hour. Converting it into meter per second, we have to multiply it by 5 by 18. Now it is in meter per second. We have to calculate the time. As we know that velocity or the speed is equals to distance upon time. So in this case, we have to calculate the time. So time is equals to become total distance divided by its average speed. Okay, so putting the values, t is equals to total distance is 1100 meters divided by 45 multiplied by 5, which is divided by 18. On solving this, we will get the answer 88 seconds. Okay, next question. Question number 10. In question number 10, again the same case is given, same paragraph is given, and it is asked a train is starting from railway station and moving with uniform acceleration attains a speed of 54 km per hour in 20 minutes. Okay, initial velocity, initial speed is 0, then attains uniform acceleration and the final speed is 54 km per hour in 20 minutes. Okay, find its acceleration. Okay, so we have to calculate the value of acceleration. As we know that acceleration is change in velocity with respect to time. So u is 0. So simply we can say a is equals to v upon t. But v is in kilometer per hour. We will convert it into meter per second. 54 multiplied by 5 upon 18. Okay. So the value is 54 multiplied by 5 upon 18 divided by time. Time is in minutes, so we will convert it into seconds multiplying by 60. On solving this, we will get our answer 0.0125 meter per second square. That is option A is our correct answer. Okay, so we have discussed all the questions of physics subject. For more information regarding Matrix Olympiad like award ceremony, results, please press the bell icon and subscribe this YouTube channel. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone. Now we will discuss the chemistry portion of class 9. Let's see the question. Yes, the question is a solution in which the amount of solute is less than the saturation level is called. Option A is unsaturated solution. Option B is saturated solution. Option C is supersaturated solution, and option D is none of this. Option A is the right option for this question because we know that a solution in which the amount of solute is less than the saturation level. If the level is less than the saturation level, then it is known as the unsaturated solution. If level is equal to the saturation level, then it's known as the saturation level, and if the level is more than the saturation level, then it's called supersaturated solution. Okay, so the option A is the right option for this question. Now let's see the next question. When impurities are added to solution, then it's option A is decreases the melting point and increases the boiling point. Option B is increases the melting point and decreases the boiling point. Option C is no change in the melting point and boiling point. And option D is none of the above. Let's see the question again. When impurities are added to solution, then they stabilize the liquid state. So for conversion of liquid to solid, we increases the boiling point and decreases the melting point. So the option A is right option for this question. Now let's see the next question. The next question is, which of the following will sublime on heating? Option A is ammonium chloride. Option B is sodium chloride. Option C is sugar. And option D is copper chloride. Option A is the right option for this question because we know that ammonium chloride is a sublimable substance. It means ammonium chloride directly convert into solid to vapor phase. So because of their sublimable nature, it is on heating directly convert into solid to liquid phase, and this process is known as the sublimation. So option A is the right option for this question. Now let's see the next question. The next question is, which of the following is a pure substance? Options are, option A is kerosene oil, option B is steel, option C is sodium chloride, and option D is vulcanized rubber. Okay, in the question, which of the following is a pure substance? We know that kerosene is a combination of 10 different type of hydrocarbons, or we can say when different kind of hydrocarbons are combined together, then it forms kerosene oil. Now see the next, steel. In the option B, the steel is also an alloy of carbon and steel. Now the D is vulcanized rubber. Vulcanized rubber is also a mixture of rubber and sulfur. So now let's the option C. C is sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is a pure substance. So the option C is the right option for this question. Now let's see the next question. The next question is on converting 55 degrees Celsius, 77 degrees Celsius and 85 degrees Celsius to Kelvin scale, the correct sequence of temperature will be. Options are, option A is 335 Kelvin, 360 Kelvin and 358 Kelvin. Option B is 315 Kelvin, 350 Kelvin, 358 Kelvin. Option C is 328 Kelvin, 350 Kelvin, 358 Kelvin, and the option D is 298 Kelvin, 350 Kelvin and 358 Kelvin. So let's see the question again. On converting 55 degrees, 77 degree and 85 degree to Kelvin. Okay, so how we can change the degree Celsius into Kelvin? When we add 273 in it, then it's converted into Kelvin. So when we add 273 in 55, then it becomes 8, 2 and 3, 328. Now let's see the next one. When we add 273 in 77, so let's see, 7, 3, 10 and then 14 and 15 and then 3. So it is 350 Kelvin. Now let's see the next one. When we add 273 in 85, then it becomes 5 and 3, 8, then 5 and 3. Means the first is 328 Kelvin, second is 350 Kelvin and third is 358 Kelvin. So the option C is the right option for this question. Now let's see the next question. The next question is, during the summer, water kept in an earthen pot becomes cool because of the phenomenon of. Option A is diffusion, option B is transpiration, option C is evaporation and option D is osmosis. The right option is option C is the right option, because we know that because of the evaporation, the cooling effect generated in the pot, and that cooling effect keeps water cool in the pot. Now let's see the next question. Next question is, match column first with column second and select the correct answer using the codes given below. In the column first, P is uniform composition, Q is particle size greater than 1000 nanometer, and the R is shaving cream. And in the column second, there are three different phases. First is foam, second is homogeneous, and third is suspension. Let's see this. First is foam. Foam is a type of colloidal solution, and we know that shaving cream is a colloidal solution and which is known as a foam. Now next is homogeneous. Homogeneous is a uniform composition, means when the any stage or any composition have same particles throughout the space, then that known as the homogeneous picture. So the uniform composition is also known as the homogeneous. Particle size greater than 1000 nm. There are the three different types of the solution: true solution, colloidal solution, and suspension. If the particle size is less than 1 nanometer, then they known as a true solution, and if the particle size is between 1 to 1000 nanometer, then it is known as a colloidal solution, and when the particle size greater than 1000 nanometer, then the solutions are known as the suspension. So the Q match with third option. So P match with second option, Q match with third, and R with first. So 2, 3, 1. So the option A is the right option for this question. Now let's see the next question. The next question is, which of the following statement is or are true or false? Let's see the statement. Statement first is, the intermixing of particles of matter is called diffusion. Yes, this is a true statement. When the intermixing of particles takes place in a matter, then it's called diffusion. Now let's see the second. Rate of diffusion increases on decreasing density. This is also a true statement, because we know that if it decreases the density, the amount of the particles in per volume get decreases. So because of that, the rate of the diffusion will increases. So the option second is, or statement second is also a true statement. Now let's see the second. Rate of diffusion decreases on increasing pressure and temperature. No, this is a wrong statement, because rate of diffusion decreases on increasing pressure and decreasing temperature. Or we can say this is completely a wrong statement, because the both features are increases in this statement. So this is completely a wrong statement. Rate of diffusion decreases on increasing pressure and temperature. So the option first is true statement, second is also a true statement, and third is false statement. So true, true, and false. Option B is the right option for this question. Now let's see the next question. The next question is, matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. Matter is classified into solid, liquid, and gas. In solid state, particles are closely packed and have very strong force of attraction. Particles can only vibrate and rotate around the fixed position. In liquid state, particles are less closely packed and have strong force of attraction, but less than solid. Particles can move throughout the liquid. In gaseous state, the particles are far apart with weak force of attraction and are in state of constant random motion. Gases can be easily compressed, whereas solid and liquids are incompressible. Now let's see the question. Question is, an inflated balloon is placed in the refrigerator, then what will happen? Now let's see the option. Option A is, balloon will shrink and particles will move faster and become closer. No, it's a wrong option. Now let's see the second option. Balloon will expand and particles will move faster and become far apart. No, it's also a wrong statement. Now let's see the D option. Balloon will expand, particles will move slower and come closer, therefore the volume of the balloon will decreases. This is also a wrong statement. Now let's see the option C. Balloon will shrink, particles will move slower and become closer together. Yes, this is a right option because we know that when an inflated balloon is placed in the refrigerator, then pressure remains constant, but because of the temperature is down, because of the decrease in temperature, the volume of the particle or the volume of the balloon is decreases, and because of the decrease in the volume, the balloon will shrink and particles will move slower and become closer together. So the option C is the right option for this question. Now let's see the next question. The next question is, when liquid changes into vapors at any temperature below its boiling point. Okay, let's see this, below its boiling point. So it is called, option A is evaporation, option B is boiling point, option C is sublimation, and option D is vaporization. So the option A is the right option because when liquid changes into vapor at any temperature below its boiling point, it's known as the evaporation. Okay, sublimation is a process in which solid directly convert into vapor stage. Vaporization is a process in which liquid directly convert into vapor phase above its boiling point, and boiling point is a phenomenon at which the liquid convert into vapor phase. So the option A is the right option for this question.
Hello student, welcome to Matrix High School. Today we discuss about Matrix Olympiad paper solution for 9th class biology portion. Let's start. First question for biology. Select one which is not true for ribosome. First option, made of two subunit, that is right. Form of polysome, that is right. May attach to RNA, mRNA for protein synthesis, that is also right. Have no role in protein synthesis, so that is wrong and not true. According to question, that is right answer for question, because ribosome participate in protein synthesis, but here have no role in protein synthesis, so that is wrong. Next one, what is tonoplast? Tonoplast is the outer membrane for vacuole or vacuole present in plant cell. Outer membrane of mitochondria, that is wrong. Inner membrane of chloroplast, that is wrong. Membrane boundary of vacuole of plant cell, that is right. Cell membrane of plant, wrong. Tonoplast for option third is right. Next one, plastid differ from mitochondria on the basis of one of the following feature. Mark the right. Presence of two layer differ. Plastid contain two layer and also mitochondria contain two layer. So option similar but differ. Presence of ribosome, presence of chlorophyll, presence of DNA. Option C is the right answer because mitochondria participate in respiratory activity, cellular respiration, and plastid have chlorophyll for photosynthesis. So differ is chlorophyll, option C. Next one, 24th, hyaline cartilage does not have fiber, lacunae, cells and blood capillaries. Fiber, lacunae, cells present but the blood capillaries not. So option D is the right answer for 24th. Smooth muscles are smooth muscles that are involuntary muscles, involuntary spindle shaped and non-striated muscles. Involuntary, that not responsible for voluntary actions, that not controlled by us. So involuntary spindle shape, non-striated is the right answer. Next one, histology. Histology related with the study of structure seen in necktie tissue changed in form and structure during development and cell. Histology related to tissue. So option B is the right answer, study of tissue in histology. Next, which of the following statements is true and false? Option first, First statement, both cardiac and smooth muscles are uninucleate and involuntary. Second, node of Ranvier occur in non-myelinated nerve fiber. Third statement, squamous epithelium is also called permanent epithelium. That is right. So, according to question, both cardiac and smooth muscle are uninucleate and involuntary. That is right. So, true. And node of Ranvier occur at myelinated. This one is non-myelinated. So, that is wrong. False. And next one is squamous epithelium, also called permanent epithelium. Then right. So, according to question, true, false, true. True, false, true in option first. Option first is the right answer for this question. Next one is match the following. Match the following. Adipose tissue for fat storing tissue. Next one is stratified epithelium and fluid connective tissue. Fluid connective tissue is the blood and stratified epithelium is the skin. So, according to match, our right answer is adipose 3, stratified epithelium 2 and connective tissue 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1 in option number third. C. C is the right answer for this. Next one. Given diagram is the model explain the structure of plasma membrane of animal cell as a mosaic component such as phospholipid, protein, cholesterol and carbohydrate. This one is the cell membrane, plasma membrane model. This model was proposed by Robert Hooke? No. Robert Brown? No. Sheridan and Shavon, they related to cell theory. Last one is Singer and Nicholson. Right answer for this question proposed by Singer and Nicholson. Next question. Which component of plasma membrane are amphipathic molecule? First, protein. Second, phospholipid, cholesterol and carbohydrate. Then option B is the right answer for this. Phospholipid is the right answer. These are the solution for class 9th biology portion. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the paper solution of class 9th Matrix Olympiad of 29 October second shift. For 31st question is the value of the root 3 minus 2 root 2 is. So let's see how we will solve this one. So this one can be written as root 3 minus 2 root 2 as 3 can be splitted in 2 plus 1 minus 2 root 2. So that is the 2 can be written as root 2 square plus 1 square minus 2 multiply root 2 into 1. So a square plus b square minus 2ab. So identity is the a minus b whole square. So that is the root 2 minus 1 whole square. So when you will simplify it, you will get root 2 minus 1. So our option D is correct answer, root 2 minus 1. Okay, next, the simplest form of 0.123 bar is, we have to convert in the simplest form, means in the form of rational number. So just assume x equal 0.123 bar. Bar is only on one digit, so we can multiply equation 1 with 10. So that will be the 10x equal to the 1.23 bar. Okay, and you can write this one as 1.233 bar. Why? Because 3 is repeating equation 2. So now subtract equation 1 from equation 2, then you are getting 10x minus x equal 1.233 bar minus 0.123 bar. So here you are getting 9x and here you are getting 1.11. So x equal to 1.11 upon 9. When you simplify it, 111 upon 900. So cancel out by 3. So 337 time and that is 300 time. So 37 upon 300. Option C is the correct answer. Next question, a rational number equivalent to 7 upon 19 is. What is the equivalent rational number? When a rational number's numerator and denominator are multiplied or divided with same numbers, then they are called equivalent rational number. So here in the question, that is 7 upon 19. So how we are getting 17 upon 119? There is no chances. 14, how you will get? When you multiply with 2. So in the denominator you have also multiply with 2. So you will get 14 upon 38. But here is 14 upon 57. So B is not the answer. In the C, 17 upon 19 given. When you will get 31 when you multiply with 3. So 7 3 ja 21. 19 3 ja 57. So also denominator is different. So C is not the answer. Next, 7 upon 19, how we are getting 21? When you multiply with 3. So in the denominator we will also multiply with 3. So 7 3 ja 21, 19 3 ja 57. So answer is matching. So option D is the correct answer. A rational number equivalent to 7 upon 19 is 21 upon 57. Option D is correct answer. Next question, if x plus 1 is a factor of polynomial 2x square plus kx, then the value of k is. So if x1 is a factor, then x equal to minus 1 will be the one of the 0 of this polynomial. Okay, it means 8p, the polynomial px equal to minus 1, it will be 0. So put x equal to minus 1, so twice of minus 1 square plus k into minus 1 equal 0. So here you are getting 2 minus k equal 0. So from here the value of k is 2. So the value of k is 2. Option C is the correct answer. Next, question number 35. If a upon b plus b upon a equal minus 1, then a cube minus b cube. Okay, so we have to find the a cube minus b cube. What is the formula of a cube minus b cube? The identity we use for a cube minus b cube, that is a cube minus b cube equal a minus b multiply a square plus b square plus ab. So now we will simplify it. So when you will simplify it, a upon b plus b upon a equal minus 1. So you take the LCM of b and a, that is the AB. B divided in AB, you are getting b, a multiply a square. Similarly here b square equal minus 1. When you simplify more, you will get with the cross multiply a square plus b square equal minus AB. After simplification, a square plus b square plus ab equal to 0. Okay, so we have to find the a cube minus b cube. And when we write the identity a minus b, a square plus b square plus ab, put the value of a square plus b square plus ab here. So you are getting ab minus b multiply 0. It means a minus b multiply 0 means answer is 0. So what is the value of a cube minus b cube? Option D, 0 is the correct answer. Next question, the value of 249 square minus 248 square. So when you see here, it is a square minus b square. So what is the a square minus b square? Using the identity, that is a plus b, a minus b. So similarly, you will write here 249 square minus 248 square. So that is 249 plus 248 multiply 249 minus 248. So that is the 497 into 249 minus 248 1. So our answer is 497. 497. Option D is the correct answer. Next question, which of the following point lies on the x-axis? If any point is lying on the x-axis, their y-coordinate will be the 0. So in option C, y-coordinate is 0. So option C is the correct answer. Next question, the mirror image of 3, 5 in x-axis is. So mirror image of 3, 5 in x-axis. So in the x-axis, the mirror image will be the 3, minus y, because in the x-axis, when you are taking the mirror image, the y coordinate will be the negative. So 3, minus 5, option C is the correct answer. Next, the perpendicular distance of point 4, minus 3 from the x-axis. In the Cartesian plane, the point 4, minus 3 is here. So what is the distance from x-axis? The distance from the x-axis is the y coordinate. So that is the, what is the distance? The distance is the 3 unit. So our answer option A equal 3 units. Next question, an angle is 1/5 of its supplementary, then the measure of the angle is. Key an angle, just assume, we assume the angle is x is 1/5 of its supplementary. So what is the supplementary of x? That is the 180 minus x. Yes or no? Is 1/5 of its supplementary. X equal 1/5 of its supplementary. Angle x equal to 1/5 of its supplementary. Now simplify it. So you are getting 5x equal 180 minus x with the cross multiply, and send x in left hand side. So you are getting 6x equal 180, x equal 30 degree. So the angle is the 30 degree. Option C is the correct answer. Now you can cross check it. Angle is the 30 degree. It is 1/5 of the 150 degree. Yani supplementary is the 150 degree. So it is the 1/5 of 150 degree. So option C is the correct answer. Now next, in the given figure, AB parallel to CD, if angle EAB equal 50 degree, ECD equal 60 degree, then angle AEB. Okay, these lines are parallel to each other. So if angle C equal to 60 degree, then this angle B will be the also 60 degree by the concept of the alternative interior angles. Okay, so it is asking for angle AEB. This one angle, what is the measure of this angle? We can use the angle sum property. So angle AEB plus angle 60 degree, this one, plus angle 50 degree, this one, equal to 180 degree by concept of angle sum property of triangle. So angle AEB will be the 180 minus 60 plus 50, 110. So angle AEB equal 70 degree. So what is the measure of angle AEB? 70 degree. Option D is the correct answer. Next question, if two angles are complement to each other, then each angle is. If two angles are complement to each other, then the measure of then sum of both angle is 90 degree. It means both angle are less than 90 degree. So option A, acute angle, yes, acute angle lies between 0 to 90 degree or greater than 0 or less than 90 degree. So yes, option A is the correct. Obtuse angle, not possible, because the measure of obtuse angle is more than 90 degree, but the sum of both angle is less than the sum of both angle is 90 degree. So option B is not possible. Right angle, if both angles which are complementary to each other, they lies between 0 to 1, 0 to 90 degree. So right angle is not possible. And reflex angle is angle between 180 degree to 360 degree. So this one is not answer. So only the correct answer is an acute angle. Option A is the correct answer. Next question, it is given that triangle ABC congruent to triangle FDE. There are the two triangles ABC, triangle ABC congruent to triangle FDE. Okay, so AB equal to 5 centimeter, AB equal 5 centimeter, angle B equal 40 degree, angle B equal 40 degree, angle A equal 80 degree, angle A equal 80 degree, FD equal 5 centimeter, FD equal 5 centimeter. Then which of the following is true? Which of the following is true? Okay, what is measure of this angle? Measure of this angle is 60 degree using the angle sum property of the triangle. Okay, if triangle ABC congruent to triangle FDE, then which of the statement is correct? So it means angle A equal to angle F, angle A equal to angle F. This one is also 80 degree. Angle B equal to angle D, angle B equal to angle D, angle C equal to angle E, angle C equal to angle E. So now angle D equal to 60 degree, angle D equal to 40 degree, means first one is wrong. Angle E equal to 60 degree, angle E equal to 60 degree, option B is correct. Angle F equal to 60 degree, angle F equal to 80 degree, means C is wrong. Angle D equal to 80 degree, angle D is 40 degree, it means D is also wrong. So which option is correct? Only option B is correct. So option B, angle E equal 60 degree is the right answer. Okay. Next question, in triangle ABC, angle C equal angle A. In triangle ABC, angle C equal angle A. A, B, C. Angle C equal angle A. BC equal 4 centimeter. This side is 4 centimeter. AC equal 5 centimeter. This side is 5 centimeter. Then AB. You know very well, if in triangle two angles are equal, then side opposite to angles are also equal. It means when angle C equal to angle A, then side AB will equal to BC. Angles side opposite to the equal angles are also equal. So it means measure of side AB will be equal to the BC, and what is the length of the BC? BC equal to 4 centimeter. So AB will also 4 centimeter. Option A is the correct answer. Okay, next question. If AB equal QR, BC equal PR and CA equal PQ, which of the following condition holds? Okay, we have to check which triangles are congruent. When you notice all four options, the triangle PQR, triangle PQR, triangle PQR, triangle PQR. So it means we have to compare with the triangle PQR. So here we are taking the triangle PQR. Here we are taking another triangle. We will take measure according to date. So see here, QR equal AB, QR equal AB. Okay. BC equal RP, RP equal BC, CA equal PQ, PQ equal CA. Okay, now triangle PQR, that is the triangle PQR. So it will be a triangle CAB, congruent to triangle CAB. Which option is correct? CAB. Option C is the correct answer. So triangle PQR congruent to triangle CAB. Option C is the correct answer. Next question. Each of points -2, 2, 0, 0, 2, -2 satisfy the linear equations. When these points satisfy the linear equation, if they holds for this one. When you notice x coordinate is additive inverse of y coordinate. X coordinate is additive inverse of y coordinate. It means x equal minus y. In this one it also follow. So when you simplify it, you are getting x plus y equal 0. So which condition hold? Option B, x plus y equal 0. So our correct answer is x plus y equal 0. Okay, next question. Linear equation 4x minus 3y equals 7xy and 3x plus 2y equal 18xy intersect at x comma y, then x comma y is. So see here, you can write this equation in the form of 4x minus 3y equals 7xy. When you send xy in the denominator of left hand side, then you will get 4x minus 3y upon xy equal 7. In the next step, you will get 4x upon xy minus 3y upon xy equal 7. So here you will get 4 upon y minus 3 upon x equal 7. Equation 1. Again, next we will process the same method. 3x plus 2y equal 18xy. So you will get 3 upon y plus 2 upon x equal 18. Now in equation 1 and 2, you assume 1 upon y equal p and 1 upon x equal q in both equation. So this equation we will be 4p minus 3q equals 7, and equation 2 will 3p plus 2q equal 18. Now equation 3 and equation 4 we are marking. Now we will solve equation 3 and 4. So for the eliminating p, we will multiply equation 3 with 3 and equation 4 with 4. So you will get 12p minus 9q equal 21. From equation 4 you are getting 12p minus plus 8q equal 18 4 ja 72. When you subtract 12p to 12p cancel out, and that will be the 17q equal minus 17q equal minus 51, q equal minus 51 upon minus 17, q equal 3. Put q equal 3 in equation 4. So you are getting 3p plus 2 into 3 equal 18. So 3p equal 12, p equal 4, p equal 4. Okay. Now you just assume that 1 upon y equal p. 1 upon y equal p. So y will be the 1 upon p, means y coordinate will be the 1 upon p, means 1 upon 4. So the value of y equal to 1 upon 4, and similarly when you put x equal to 1 upon q, so x will be the 1 upon 3. So the coordinate will be the 1 upon 3, 1 upon 4. Option D is the correct answer. Next question, question number 48. X equal 5, y equals 2 is a solution of linear equation. If x equal to 5, y equal to 2 satisfy any of these options, then that will be the linear equation which satisfying this x equal to 5, y equal 2. So when we are putting x equal 5, y equal 2 in option A, then we are getting 5 plus 2 into 2. So we are getting 9. It means option A does not satisfy. Option B, 5 into 2 plus 2 into 2. So you are getting 10 plus 14. It means equation option B also not satisfy. In option C, x plus y equals 7. 5 plus 2 equals 7. So for option C, x equal to 5, y equal to 2 is the solution of linear equation. Now we will check D also. D will be the 5 into 5. X value is 5 and y equal to 2. So you are getting 27, but here it is 7. So option D is also not the answer. So for option C, x equal to 5, y equal to 2 is a solution of linear equation. So option C is the correct answer. Next, question number 49. The graph of the line y equal to 3 passes through. So y equal to 3. It means x is fixed, but the value of the y will be the 3. So in which option y equal to 3? A is not the answer, B is not the answer. Yes, C. From C, y equal to 3 passes. So option C is the correct answer. Next question, which of the following is an irrational number? All number are in decimal format. A number which is non-terminating and non-repeating, that number is considered in irrational number. So A, option A, that is the terminating decimal number, so it is the rational. B, 3.141414, it means 14 is repeating, so it is a rational number. Option C, 3.14 is repeating, it means it is also a rational number. But in option D, 3.414114, it means there is no exact number is repeating after some decimal number, so option D is a irrational number. Option D is the correct answer. 51. Match column first with column second. Point lies on the line y equal 2x plus 3. So here the coordinates are given, points are given, so check for the points. When you put x equal to 0 in this equations, you are getting y equal to 3. It means first is not the answer. When you put x equal to 2 in this equation, 4 to the 8 plus 3, 11, it means second is not the answer. In third one, when you put x equal to 3, 3 to the 6 plus 3, y equal to 9, 9 you are getting, it means third one is the answer of option P. Now Q, point whose ordinate is 5. It means its ordinate is 5 and it lies on y-axis. If any point lying on the y-axis, it means its x coordinate will be the 0. So here the x coordinate is the 0. It means option first is the correct answer for Q. Solution of equation 2x minus y equals 6. Now only the second is remaining. First check for the second. 2 into, what is the value of the x? 4. Minus, what is the value of the y? 2. So 8 minus 2 equals 6. That is satisfying the linear equation. So second is the correct option for R. So correct answer is 312, 312. Option C is the correct answer. Next question number 52. Match column first with column second and select the correct answer using the codes given below. P, zeros of the polynomial 2x square plus 5x minus 3. Okay, so now we will first factorize this polynomial 2x square plus 5x minus 3. 2 into 3, 6. Take factor of 6 such that by the subtraction you are getting 5. So 1 into 6. So factor will be the, when we split, it will be the 2x square plus 6x minus x minus 3. That will be the 2x common, x plus 3 minus 1 common, x plus 3. So factor will be the 2x minus 1 and x plus 3. When we have to find the 0, put equal to 0. So in one case you are getting x equal to 1 by 2. In another case you are getting x equal to minus 3. So minus 3 and 1 by 2 are the zeros of polynomial. So option 3 is the correct answer for point P. For the Q, zeros of the polynomial Px equal 3x square minus 1. So Px equal 3x square minus 1. So if we have to find the zeros, put equal to 0 and 3 we can write root 3 square into x square minus 1 square. So that will be the root 3x square minus 1 square equal to 0. That will be the root 3x plus 1 and root 3x minus 1 equal to 0. So the 1 0 will be the x equal to minus 1 upon root 3. Another 0 will be the x equal to 1 upon root 3. So x equal to minus 1 upon root 3 and 1 upon root 3 are zeros of polynomial. So for Q, first is the correct answer. In next, if x plus 1 comma 6 equal 9 comma y minus 1, x plus 1 comma 6 equal 9 minus 9 comma y minus 1. So X coordinate will be the equal to the X coordinate and Y coordinate will be equal to Y coordinate. So X plus 1 equal to 9, 6 equal Y minus 1. So X equal 8 and Y equal 7. So X equal 8, Y equal 7. So X comma Y will be 8 comma 7. So second one is the answer. So correct answer is 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Option B is the correct answer. Next question, match column first with column second and select the correct answer using the codes given below, which is the relation between X and Y. So here angle X and angle Y. Which type of angle are these? These are adjacent angle. So P's answer is 2, adjacent angle. In option Q, X and Y are vertically opposite angle. So option first, vertically opposite angle. In R, X and Y are linear pair of angle. So X and Y are linear pair of angle. 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3. Option D is the correct answer. 54. Which of the following statement is a true or false? Every rational number can be represented by some point on number line. Yes, you can represent every rational number by some points on number line. So first one is true. Pi is an irrational number. Yes, pi is an irrational number. Second one is also true. Third one, x plus 1 is factor of x cube minus 1. Let's check. If x plus 1 is factor of x cube minus 1, then x equal to minus 1 will be the 0 of this polynomial. So put x equal to minus 1, minus 1's cube minus 1. So here you are getting minus 1 equal minus 2. So you are not getting 0. It means x plus 1 is not factor of x cube minus x cube minus 1. So third one is false. TTF. Option D is the correct answer. Next question, which of the following statement is a true or false? First one, 2, 1 is solution of 2x plus 3y equal 8. So 2, 1 is solution of this one. Then 2, 1 will satisfy this one. So 2 multiply the value of x, 2 plus 3 multiply value of y is 1. 4 plus 3 equals 7. But here is 8. So 2, 1 is not the solution. So first one is false. Second, in an isosceles triangle, the altitude from the vertex bisect the base. Let's check. So when you are drawing a isosceles triangle ABC, the non-equal side is considered as base. Okay. So altitude from the vertex. This one is the vertex, bisect the base. So when it is altitude, the angle is the 90 degree. So this side is equal. That is the hypotenuse. When it is a right angle triangle, this side is common and this is the right angle. So in triangle AB, D and ACD, which congruency follow RHS? From RHS, triangle ABD are congruent to triangle ACD. If ABD congruent to triangle ACD, applying the CPCT, BD equal CD. BD equal CD, it means altitude bisect the base. BD equal CD, it means second one is true. Third, the median of an equilateral triangles are equal. Yes, in equilateral triangle, all medians are equal. Third one is true. So FTT option B is the correct answer. Next question, which of the following statement is a true or false? First, a triangle with side length 3x, 4x and 5x must be right angle triangle. It is saying there is a triangle whose side are 3x, 4x, 5x. Must be right angle triangle. When it will be the right angle triangle? If sum of square of two sides is equal to the square of third side. Let's check. So 3x square plus 4x square will equal to 5x square. Then it will be the right angle triangle. So let's check 3x square 9x square plus 16x square equal, that is the 25x square. So in left hand side 25x square equal to right hand side 25x square. It means it is satisfying Pythagoras theorem. So yes, option first one is the true. This triangle is a right angle triangle. Yes. Next one, the bisector of two adjacent supplementary angles include a right angle. Okay, first one we are taking two adjacent supplementary angle. This one side A, B, and just assume OC is the common side. And these angles are supplementary. So now we are taking the bisector of these angle. So we are taking the bisector of this angle. It means this one equal to the this one. That is the OD, and bisector of this angle will be the OE. So the bisector of two adjacent supplementary angles include a right angle. It is saying this angle is a right angle. So let's check. If just assume this angle is X, then this one is also X. If this one is Y, this is also Y, because OD and OE are the bisector of angle AOC and BOE respectively. So it means 2x plus 2y will be the 180 degree. So x plus y will be the 90 degree. Yes, x plus y. So sum of these angle is the 90 degree. So this one is also true. First one is true. Second one is true. Third one, 0, 8 lies on x-axis. If any point is lying on x-axis, then y-coordinate will be the 0. So here y-coordinate is not 0. So this one is false. So our answer is TTF. Option B is the correct answer. Next, paragraph 4, question number 57 and 58. Once math teacher of class 9th D told student that today we will prove that the sum of all three angles is 180 degree as shown in figure. He told to draw any triangle ABC in the notebook for the sides BC was extended to D. Okay, so according to question, there is a triangle ABC and side BC is extended to D. Now a question is, if BA parallel CE, AC is a transversal, so angle 1 will be the equal to. So you know, then these side are parallel, this is a transversal, so angle 1 and angle 4 are what alternative interior angle. So angle 1 will be equal to the angle 4. Angle 1 is equal to the angle 4. Option C is the correct answer. Next, value of angle 3, plus 4 plus 5. Value of angle 3. Okay. So 3, 4 and 5. All angle form on same point on a straight line. It means sum of these angle will be the 180 degree. Option C is the correct answer. Next, Aditya is a class 9th student raising in a village. One day he went to a city hospital along with his grandfather for general checkup. From there he visited to 3 places. School. From there he visited to 3 places: school, library and police station. After returning to his village, he plotted a graph by taking hospital as origin and marked 3 places on the graph as per his direction of movement and distance. The graph is shown below. This is the graph, and O, the point O represent hospital. It is already told that origin is the hospital. So what are the coordinate of the police station? So that is the police station. And what are the coordinate? X coordinate is 2 and Y coordinate is -1. So the coordinate of police station is 2, -1. Option A is the correct answer. Next, the distance between school and police station in units. So what is the distance between the school and police station? What are the coordinates of police school? So coordinates of school is 2, 3. Coordinate of police station is 2, -1. So the distance between police station and school is, we are using the formula x2 minus x1 whole square, yani 2 minus 2 whole square plus y2 minus y1, y minus 1 minus 3 square. So PS equal 0 plus 16 root 16. So that is the 4 units. So the distance is the 4 unit. So ऑप्शन ए इज 4. सो इसी तरीके से आपके मैथ्स के सारे क्वेश्चन कंप्लीट होते हैं. आई होप आपका पेपर बहुत अच्छा रहा होगा. इसी तरीके से आपको मैट्रिक्स ओलंपियाड से रिलेटेड कोई भी अपडेट चाहिए, उसके लिए मैट्रिक्स की चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें, वीडियो को लाइक करें और शेयर करना ना भूलें. थैंक यू सो मच.
Hello student, welcome to Matrix YouTube channel. We are here to discuss the solution of Matrix Olympiad paper of class 9th region conducted on 29 October 2023 in shift second. Hope you performed very well. So let's get started. So question number 61. What is the 12th term of the series? So series is -2, -4, -6 and last term is -100. So what is the 12th term of the series? So 12th term, find the 12th term of the series. So first term is -2. Now first find the pattern of the series. So pattern of the series is adding -2 in each term. -2 plus -2 it means -4. Now -4 plus -2 it means -6. Now again adding -2 in -6 it means -8. So next fourth term is -8. Fourth term is -8. Now next term is -10. First term, second term, third term, now fourth term, now fifth term is -10. Sixth term is -12. Seventh term is -14. Eighth term means -16. Ninth term it means -18. 10th term it means -20. 11th term it means -22. Now 12th term it means -24. 12th term of this series is -24. So here option B is the correct answer of this question. So answer is -24. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 62. Find the missing number of the given series. So series is 2, 5, 12.5. Missing number 78.125. Now 195.3125. So first find the pattern of the question. So pattern of the question is 2 multiply by 2.5. It means 5. Now 5 multiply 2.5. So 5 multiply by 2.5 it means 12.5. Now 12.5 multiply by 2.5. So 12.5 multiply by 2.5 it means 31.25. 31.25. Now 31.25 multiply by 2.5 it means 78.125. Now 78.125 multiply by 2.5 it means 195.3125. So here missing number is 31.25. So correct answer is option A. So option A is the correct answer of this question. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 63. So next question is question number 63. And move 10 centimeter towards east. So before starting this question, we should know that there are 4 types of main direction. One is north, this is west, this is south, and this is east. And there are 4 cardinal direction. So one is northeast, this is southeast, this is southwest, and this is northwest. So question is an ant. So let's suppose A is the starting point of ant, moves 10 centimeter towards east. Ants move 10 centimeter towards east. Turns to the right and moves 3 centimeter and moves 3 centimeter. Then it turns to its right, side and moves 3 centimeter and moves 3 centimeter. Now then turns to his left, and moves 2 centimeter and move 2 centimeter. Finally, it turns to his right. And moves 7 centimeter Now, how far and in which direction? It is now from the starting point. So, let's suppose A is the starting point of ant and B is the end point of ant. And find the distance between initial point to end point. So find the distance between A and B. In this question, A and B will be in the same line because the ant first goes towards 10 kilometer towards north direction, and ant also goes 3 plus 7, 10 kilometer towards west direction. So A and B will be in the same line. So find the distance between initial point and end point. So here distance between A and B is 3 plus 2. It means 5 centimeter. Now find the direction of B with respect to A. Find the direction of end point with respect to starting point. So B is to the south of A. B is to the south of A. B is to the south of starting point. So 5 centimeter south is the correct answer of this question. So here option D is the correct answer of this question. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 64. Now next question is question number 64. A school bus driver start from this school and drive 2 kilometers towards north. So let's suppose A is the starting point of driver. So first driver drive the bus towards north direction, 2 kilometers towards north direction. Then driver take a left turn, and drive for 5 kilometers Now then he take a left turn, and drive for 8 kilometers. He drive for 8 kilometers. Again taking a left turn, and driving for further 5 kilometers. The driver finally take a left turn. And drive 1 kilometer before stopping. So let's suppose A is the starting point of driver and B is the end point of driver. So how far and towards which direction should the driver drive to reach the school again? First, find the distance between starting point and end point. So first find the distance between A and B. So find the distance between A and B. So is equals to total. So total is equals to 8 minus 2 and plus 1. 8 minus 2 plus 1. So here 8 minus 3, it means 5. So 5 kilometer. So distance between starting point and end point is 5 kilometer. Now find the towards which direction should the driver drive to reach the school again. So if driver drive the bus towards north direction. Then he reach the school again. So answer is 5 kilometer towards north direction. So here answer is 5 kilometer towards north direction. So it means option A is the correct answer of this question. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 65. In the class of Rita, the boys are twice than of girls. Rita ranked at 17 place from the top and 20 place from the last in the class. If there are 7 girls ahead of Rita, how many girls are there after Rita? So given is, let's suppose number of girls in this class is equals to x. So number of boys in this class is equals to 2x. If Rita rank is 17 from the top and Rita rank is 20 from the bottom, so find the total number of student in this class. So formula is top position plus bottom position of the same person minus 1. So top position, so here top position of Rita is 17 and bottom position of Rita, so bottom position of Rita is 20 minus 1. So 17 plus 20, it means 37 minus 1, it means 36. So there are 36 students in this class. So total is equals to 36. Total means number of girls plus number of boys is equals to 36. So number of girls is equals to x plus number of boys equals to 2x is equals to 36. So x plus 2x, it means 3x is equals to 36. Now value of x is equals to 36 divided by 3, it means 12. So number of girls in this class is 12 and number of boys in this class 2 into 12, it means 24. So number of boys in this class is equals to 24 and number of girls in this class is 12. Now according to question, if there are 7 girls ahead of Rita, if there are 7 girls, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 girls ahead of Rita, so how many girls behind of Rita? So find the number of girls behind of Rita. Behind of Rita is equals to, so total girls is 12 minus 7 and plus 1 Rita. So 7 plus 1 include Rita. So 12 minus 8, it means 4. So there are 4 girls behind of Rita. So here answer is option A. Option A is the correct answer of this question. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 66. 10 boys are sitting in a line facing in the same direction. So total number of boys is equals to 10 in this line. So Abhijit, who is at 7th place from the left hand. So position of Abhijit from the left. So this is the left end of the row and this is the right end of the row. Here is Abhijit. And this is the right of Abhijit and this is the left of Abhijit. So from the left end is just, so Abhijit is just to the right of Sushant. So here is Sushant. Because Sushant, Abhijit is just right to the Sushant. So here is Sushant. Who is at? Sushant is at 5th place from the right hand. Position of Sushant from the right hand is 5th place. Now Sushant is 3rd place to the right of Rupin. So 1, 2, 3. Here is Rupin. Because Sushant is at 3rd place to the right of Rupin. So this is the right of Rupin. So 1, 2, 3. Here is Sushant. So how many children are between Abhijit and Rupin? So find the number of student between Rupin Rupin and Abhijit. So here 1, 2 and 3 include Susan. So here 3 person in between Rupin and Abhijit. So here option C is the correct answer of this question. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 67. What will be difference between the original value of equation? So equation is 3 multiplied by 4 divided by 2 minus 5. So first find the value of the given equation. So value of this equation is, first divide the numbers. So 3 multiplied by 4 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2, it means 2 minus 5. So 3, now multiply the numbers. So 3 multiplied by 2, it means 6 minus 5. So 6 minus 5, it means 1. So value of the given equation is 1. Now interchange the now its change value after replacing the mathematical sign. Multiply means plus, divide means minus, minus means multiply, and plus means divide. Now interchange the mathematical signs of the equation. So equation is 3, multiply means plus, 4 divide means minus, 2 minus means multiply by 5. So value of the given equation now. So 3 plus 4 minus, multiply the numbers. 2 multiply by 5, it means 10. So 3 plus 4, it means 7 minus 10, it means minus 3. So value of the first equation is 1. Now after interchange, value of the given equation is minus 3. So difference between 1 to minus 3 is 4. So difference between these two equation is 4. So here 4 is the correct answer of this question. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 68. In the question below consists of a question and two statements, number first and second are given below it. You have to decide whether the data provided in these statements are sufficient to answer the question. Read both these statements and give answer. So question is, find on which date in March was Parveen's father's birthday. So find the birthday date of Parveen's father. So we have two statements for this question. First, taking both statements separately. दोनों ही statement को अपने को separate लेना है, अलग अलग लेना है. Now, according to statement first के according, Parveen's correctly remembers that his father's birthday is after 14, but before 19 March. So, according to Parveen, birthday of his father birthday of his father either on 15, 16, 17 or 18 March. 18 March. अब यहां पर कोई एक डेट फिक्स नहीं है, कोई एक सिंगल डेट फिक्स नहीं है. सो statement alone is not sufficient to answer the question. Now, according to statement second, Parveen's sister correctly remembers that their father's birthday is after 17 but before 21st March. According to Parveen's sister, birthday of his father is equals to, so birthday of his father either on 18, 19 or 20 March. So यहाँ पर भी एक सिंगल डेट डिसाइड नहीं है. सो स्टेटमेंट सेकंड alone is not sufficient to answer the question. अब दोनों ही स्टेटमेंट को अपन कंबाइन करते हैं, दोनों ही स्टेटमेंट को अपन कंबाइन करेंगे तो दोनों के स्टेटमेंट में 18 मार्च ऐसी डेट है जो दोनों के स्टेटमेंट में कॉमन है. सो बर्थडे ऑफ हिज फादर ऑन 18 मार्च, दोनों ने स्टेटमेंट को अपन कंबाइन करने पर इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर पॉसिबल है. सो इट मींस option C is the correct answer of this question because the data in statement first and statement second together are sufficient to answer the question. So here option C is the correct answer of this question. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 69 and 70. Read the following information carefully and answer the question given below. So according to information, 6 person A, B, C, D and E are sitting in 2 rows. So there are 2 rows, 1, 2 and 3. And 3 person in each row. And 3 person in each row. So according to information, next information, E is not at the end of any row. E is not at the end of any row. सो E की प्लेस यहाँ पॉसिबल नहीं है, E की प्लेस यहाँ पॉसिबल नहीं है, E की प्लेस यहाँ पॉसिबल नहीं है, E की प्लेस यहाँ पॉसिबल. Here is not E, here is not E. And now according to next information, D is second to the left of F. So D is to the second left of F. Here is F. Now first left, this is the first left of F. This is the second left of F. Now here is D. We have 2 cases for this information. Case number first, this is the case number 2. There are 2 rows and 3 person are sitting in each row. Now according to this information, D is second to the left of F. First case, D is to the second, 1 and 2, second left of F. Now other case, D is, here is D. So here is F. So 1, this is the first left of F and this is the second left of F. Now according to next information, C, the neighbor of E, is sitting diagonally opposite to D. C is sitting diagonally opposite to D. So here is C. So now here is D. So now here is C because they are diagonally opposite to each other. So here is D. So now here is C because they both are diagonally opposite to each other. And C is neighbor of E. So if here is C, then here is E. If here is C, then here is E. According to next information, B is the neighbor of F. B is the neighbor of F. So here is F. So here is B. Here is F. So here is B. So एक ही sitting अब खाली है. So एक ही person missing है. So here is A. So here is A. So now question is, which of the following pair is sitting diagonally opposite to each other? So A and F and C and D are diagonally opposite to each other. So in this case, F and A are diagonally opposite to each other and C and D are diagonally opposite to each other. A and F are diagonally opposite to each other in this case and D and C are diagonally opposite to each other in this case. Similarly, in this case, A and F are diagonally opposite to each other and D and C are diagonally opposite to each other. So in both cases, A and F are diagonally opposite to each other. So it means option D is the correct answer of this question. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is question number 70. So according to previous question, we have 2 cases. Case number first and this is the case number second. Here is D and here is F and here is B. Now here is C, here is E and here is A. यहाँ पे A है. And in case second, here is D, here is F, here is B, here is C, here is E, and here is A. So question is, which of the following person are in the same row? Same row में कौन कौन से person है? A and E. A and E. Yes, they are. A and E are in the same row. So option A is the correct answer of this question. A, D, E, D are not in the same row. C, B, C, B, C, B are not in the same row. In both case, A, B, A, B, A, B are not in the same row in both case. So here option A is the correct answer of this question. Thank you everyone.